Peace YouTube, this is Fleur Boone coming to you today to talk about the rainbow. Peace, peace, peace. As you see, I am here. I'll wait for a few to come in. You know, I generally don't do this. It's a Friday night. I'm feeling really grateful and filled with gratitude. So I'll wait until everyone kind of comes in and steps in. I know generally I don't do lives like this. So peace, 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 peace to the east, the west, the north, and the south. Peace. I know the camera's a little funky, right? Hey, Cody, what's good? Hey, Nora. Peace, 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 peace. Yes, I'm coming to bring in gratitude for the wonderful rainbow. I am 50 Shades of Rainbow. And as you can see, family, yes, I am wearing the new shirt for our conference. I know I'm a little busty bab, so I hope you don't mind. But this is the shirt that Vanjie and David did. And isn't it divine? I love this shirt. Oh my gosh. I love this shirt. Yes, yes, yes. So this is our shirt for the conference. Is another shirt with the sunglasses. Yes, if you want a shirt, go to 13floorbin13@gmail.com. People are ordering them, and I have to have some for the conference. A lot of people are ordering them before I bring them to the conference. Listen, I ordered shirts for the conference. Bodega, yeah, yours is being delivered today. So I'm quite a few people ordered already, so their orders are going to go out. So if you want to order the shirts prior to the conference, even if you're not coming, support it, support it, support it. I love the shirts; they fit so fabulous. I picked the perfect shirt. You know, I like cuffed it up already. I love it. Anyway, so I'm 50 Shades of Rainbow, and I'm talking about gratitude today. Are you catching up, Cody? Yeah, I did a live. Well, we did the show last night, so I did it live. Yeah, the show. This is all Vanjie. Vanjie and David did the show. They totally did my graphics for my shirt. I am so grateful. If you want an intuitive, on point graphic artist, you go with these two. They're from Cypher Crew. Big up to Cypher Crew. They're part of my Cypher, and they will be at the conference. So, you know, look at the shirt, and it's divine. Look at the rainbow. And as you see, this is Ishtel, and this is Anana. Okay. Big up to the rainbow. Yes, yes, they brought in the rainbow and the 13, and this is, you know, our shield. But you see the fielding of the two. Vanjie describes it so eloquently. It's the two cousins. You know, one is the Negas serpent, and one is the Maya, who represents the Andromeda. You know, who did the Exodus. But they are cousins. They were Earth cousins. As remember, the Maya are also kin to the Negas serpent of the Anunnaki. So she fielded them together, and they're connected as sea stars with a rainbow. And there's our 13 shield. So it's beautiful, and it says "Can't stop, won't stop." What? Yes, yes, yes. So anyway, let's talk about the rainbow. I wanted to kind of bring in gratitude for the energies of the rainbow. As you know, I'm really grateful for such a wonderful experience with an event that absolutely changed my mind. It changed aspects of my life. It fielded in the energetic energies of those around me, so that it made everyone who was within my general, you know, in my general field, whether it's Cypher or whether it's my personal life, it only allowed those who were in that same energetic field to even be around me, which I'm so grateful. So I had to talk about, I'm 50 Shades of the Rainbow, and I want to bring up the rainbow again, how it's really transmuted my life, how it's changed a lot of your lives, how it's about to change even more. It's doing what it's doing. It's interacting with us daily. It's telepathically communicating with me. I mean, just things like this, you know, it's that fielding of the rainbow energy that literally changed. You already saw it. Many of you who saw that day when I had the event, you saw what happened. It's a transmutation. And it did exactly what it was meant to do. And it's continuously still upgrading. It's still kind of recalibrating, my energies. And, you know, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the liaisons I have that are healthy, that are cohesive. I'm grateful for all of you who join me. Many of you join me daily, all the times. You know, you rocked with me when, you know, everybody thought that I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Here, a melanin dominant copper woman from Mount Vernon, New York, was talking about having contact with ETs, not only in the Andromedans. Many of you know me from the Zeta Sec, as I was having a contact with some of the insectilians as well. And you know, you've been with me over the years, seeing how I've changed evolved. Some things, stayed with my consciousness and some things kind of fell away. And each one of you shared your experiences, which allowed for better intel on what's going on. Um, I'm really grateful for each one of you just for rocking with that copper Mount Vernon woman who was having a massive amount of experiences and was walking through this life. So, the conference is coming. I'm really excited. People are calling now to try to go to the conference. Some people are just last minute people, and I'm okay with it. So long as we have space, it's kind of, I capped it a little bit, but if we have space, they're permissible to come. And I think, I would love for everyone to have this experience. I'm really showing how this can happen for a woman. I think a lot of times when you see a lot of these bigger conferences, when you see a lot of the ET community, you don't see as much as a representation from the female component, definitely not the melanin dominant copper component. And when I took on this journey I said I was going to do a conference. As soon as I say it, I'm going to bring it to fruition. That's just how I am. Triple Sag all day. I will manifest it. If I talk about it, I'm going to be about it. And it took me a while to actually, because my babies got a little bigger, mommy had a little more time to do things like this and actually put in the time and the effort. And it's so beautiful how the Andromedans have helped me. They've assisted me in so many ways, family. I can't even tell you. And at the conference, you're going to see. This is where I get chills. You're actually, Maximus said, be my mommy. You're so naughty. Let me behave. This is not Flirtable After Dark. When I get a little saucy after dark. But, you know, you're going to actually see the Andromedan who's cultivated me from birth. She's the reason why I was born from a mother who could not have any more children. You're actually going to get her visual. Big up to Kasara. She's done the artwork for Barry Littleton. She's a phenomenal artist and intuitive artist as well. She really took this person, this wonderful divine matron who's cultivated me. She's the reason why I was born out of my mother's womb, and he brought her to life, her visual. And there was nobody else who could do it like Kasara. Kasara did a beautiful job. I mean, literally, I told her from every aspect of this wonderful divine female that cultivated me, that has been down with me, that has made sure, that's challenged me, this Andromedan that has been a part of my life from inception. Actually, conception, depending on what you think genetic modification is. And you get to see her face and her body and what she looks like. I'm in awe. Like I can't believe she was able to get it down like that. That's why you have to go to intuitive artists. You see what Vanjie and David did? This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at the incredible art. I'm not showing you my boobies. My tetas. I'm really not, but I'm showing you an aspect of a shirt. Look at this. Vanjie was able to get the Andromedan down. This is who she's represented, and we're fielded together in the 13 energies, which is a divine feminine number, if you didn't know. And like I said, Kasara got this beautiful everything down to the T of my Andromedan mother. This is the one who really makes it happen for all of us. This is the one who made it happen that we got a castle to have our conferences. This is the one, when they tried to take me out and kill me last year, she was the one who pulled me through. This is the one who has basically held my hand every step of the way as I've gone through this cosmic level of upgrading. And you get to see her face to face. So I will reveal her at the conference. I'm excited. I'm in awe of seeing her. So she's who an Andromedan looks like. A lot of people see the Andromedans as these blue beings. Andromedan star system is huge, and there's many different beings. Remember, these Mayan sea stars were earthbound. They're earthlings that came in the Andromedan system after the last cataclysm. Okay, the Mayans didn't disappear. They went inner Earth, and then they entered into the star system of Andromedan star system. And they actually have a bunch of homies that are insectilians. Some of them look like ants, big ants, beefed up ants. Okay, so that's why you see the black ants in your house. A lot of us who are connected to that, and there's the connection to Anana. Anana is from the Anunnaki bloodline, the Nega. Okay, the Nega. They're cousins because they're saying the bloodline. They're from the Earth. Earthlings have one racial component. We are different complexions, but we are one earthling on one planet. Don't get that confused. There are other species coinciding with us. There are other species that are cloaking themselves. There are other species that are hiding themselves, or who you are unable to see based on your disability of being able to field in different textures or visuals that are not even something your brain could perceive, but they are here. So when people talk about, there's different races of people, no, there's different species of beings living here, whether you acknowledge them or not. But we're all one earthling on one planet Earth. Whether you're fair, whether you're dark, whether you're carbon, does not mean anything. You're one. You would not be able to have babies if you were another species. Okay? And some of you can't. So, you get the shots to be able to have babies with other species. Cypher crew is in the house. I know Cypher always shows up, right? Hey, Selma. Selma's in the house. Selma's coming up. We got our Sea Stars flying in from Sweden, from Vancouver. We have Sea Stars coming from Germany. We have Sea Stars coming from Seattle for the conference. Remember, the conference is next. Now it's almost 1 week away. So I'm in crunch time. It's down to the nitty gritty now. I want it to be something that is absolutely really, really a nice, really wonderful event. And I'm making sure I'm going down to the minuscule, to the little details to make this a magical experience. Now we're having it in Orlando, so it's the land of Disney. So I'm already touched by that. Disney puts the ante up there. They put the bar really high. So when you're living in the land of Disney and and of course, Universal Studios, you're going to really be, affected by how you want to represent your events. So, again, and also for those who are traveling out, I'm finally solidifying the list of our activities as we have activities during the week. I'm not going to do too much before because, as you know, I'm in crunch time. I have to make sure that the conference goes on beautifully. There's a lot of people flying in. I want to make sure everyone gets in comfortably. But we're going to do meet and greet on a couple days. Now, for those who bought tickets already, you already know I'm going to give you the locations, okay? For our YouTube family, I can't give you the locations because it's not fair. So I only give it to those who actually bought their tickets already. They will get the locations and what activities we have. Some of you already know the activities we're doing anyway, and we do a little field trip the day after the conference. I am such a Sag. It's all fire. You will always be. Listen, you got to be prepared and ready to travel with a Sag because I'm a traveling nista. So I am ready to go right day after conference in the morning. We're booking out and we're going on our express little road trip, the Fleur Brune Cypher road trip. And we're going to do a little, we're going to the Fountain of Youth. So it'll be fun. So for those who already bought their tickets, you already know I'll give you the list tomorrow. I just want to solidify everything, kind of go with my admins, Selma and Nora. I want to make sure that I kind of solidify everything with them. And then we'll have, Fleur Brune, haven't gotten any emails from you except the breakdown of the day. And that was a while ago. Okay. Oh, you'll get it, Sid. You're going to get everything in the emails tomorrow. Soca song. I hope you like. Ooh. You have a soca song, Sid? Can you send it to me again? If you're sending stuff in email, it's so hard to read it. Send me the soca song again. If you have a request for the DJ Ready Set, you already know he's from the South Bronx. I got a good DJ. I've known him for years. He's doing our conference. He's absolutely phenomenal. So send me, Sid, if you have requests for certain music, we're using Aquarius Rising, Ninth Gate, the music that we've had during all the shows. So it should be really nice. But if you have music, I'm new and I'm a YouTuber. Hey, Eleanor. Peace, peace, peace. New, but you are quite seasoned. If you are here, you are of the frequency to allow for this intel to be received. So if you have any songs that you want the DJ to play, please, I'm a Caribbean girl. I want all the wonderful music. So if you have anything, just suggest it to me and email it to me. Eventually, during the day, I'll be able to put it in there. Shy Marshall is what? What is it? Splinter by, oh, wait, what is it? Let me screenshot this, Sid. Okay, Sid, I'm so old school. I had to screenshot it, okay. Sid, I screenshot it, so I got the song. All right, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll send the song to him. Okay, so Ready Set is he's doing our conference and our after party on the Kiki on the roof. So we're gonna be kikiing on the roof of the castle. That's how we do, Andromedan and Anunnaki style, with some Arcturian and Pelagian flavor. and some toppings, and add in a little zeta and some of those creepy grays, because some of you have gray overlays whether you want to or not, unless you plan to throw away your cell phones. So anyway, I wanted to touch base and just give gratitude to the rainbow. Big up to the rainbow who really changed and transmuted my life and your lives. And it's consistently and perpetually interacting with me daily. It's in my dreams. It's in everything I do. Rainbows show up everywhere. People come in wearing rainbows. It's amazing how this energy field is, the wave is literally still here. And some people, they'll say they never had the rainbow. I don't know that you didn't. I just think that your receptivity to maybe knowing that, you may have not known. But I think, everyone to a certain degree, sorry, everyone to a certain degree had interaction with the rainbow. And I think, and as you see, it came out in the movies, you know, where it showed up in a lot of different movies. So it's here. I'm 50 shades of it. I'm not 50 shades of gray, but I'm darn skippy 50 shades of rainbow. I'm taking that and I'm owning it and I'm claiming it. Yes, B.O.B. I saw SunCloud. Big up to B.O.B. B.O.B. I know you are. You may be at the conference. B.O.B. Oh, B.O.B. I told you I have an affinity for B.O.B. 1.1. I'm not a fan of B.O.B. the clone version or the 2.3 or the 2.34. Big up to B.O.B. Yeah, he had the Nega picture up. I saw that. I love that picture. So, I'm really enamored by his creativity, and there's some interaction going on that's affecting his music, which I really appreciate. Also, he has, another really piloted song that came out. What is it called? I don't want to even say it on this platform, but he's, B.O.B. has his moments, and I really appreciate it. And again, I got his music a while ago, that was sent to me. And ever since then, I've been a fan, of B.O.B. Not, he's a human to a certain degree, so I have an affinity for him. So big up to B.O.B. Yeah, Sid said the name. You know what it is, Sid. Listen. That video it's got some Baphomet in there. It's got some things going on. There's some coding in there. He got the Olmec head. Yo, B.O.B. is down with us. He doesn't want to get in trouble, so he has to behave himself like I should. I don't really have to behave myself, but I do by choice. Big up to B.O.B. Kanye, come home. Kanye's another one. Come home, Kanye. Jump off that witch's broom and come home, Kanye. We're waiting for you. We got some moringa tea with some lime and some maple syrup, and I'm gonna make you all better. I'm gonna get all that bruja all off you. I'm gonna smudge you. You'll be back to big and back to new. You'll probably get an album that'll probably sell next time. Just get that bruja off of you. Come on, Kanye, come home. Yeah, would you say Kanye needs green berets to save him? Yeah, Kanye needs to be he needs to be rescued from the witchery that he's, the spells that he's under, the sectilian spells. Yeah, it's there, and pheromones are infectious. I tell you, males, you'll know when you have a pheromone. Don't just think that every female you really like and infatuated with is insectilian. I'm not saying that. They don't have insectilian queens running around like that, but I'm just saying these insectilian queens, Amber Rose and Kim Kardashian, look at their pictures. You get enamored. Their pheromones are not just smell. They're visuals. Pheromones can affect your cerebral cortex. So when you see them, they look like, goddesses. Like, look at Kim Kardashian. You get enamored by her. Look at Amber Rose. It's almost like you can't stop looking at them. They have that, hey Maitreya. They have that very interesting pheromonic harmonics that got it going on. So, good luck to, some of the males have some karmic debt, and they might get caught up with either the sirens, because the sirens are on the prowl right now, and some sextillion queens. Y'all should have been nicer to the divine, because now you got all kinds of predatorial type of females coming out of the woodworks because we're in a home court advantage. So all those female aspects that you kind of, suppressed and abused, you gonna have some interest. You better watch who you engage with, because you may not come out. You might be in a sunken place when you get yourself one of these beautiful sirens. You won't even know your name. Anyway, let me stop. I'm messing with you. I'm sorry. Oh, did someone say something naughty? Okay. Insectilians, nothing to do with the nega and serpent women. No, no, those insectilians are not, yeah, they're not connected to the nega. Not at all, not at all. It's a totally different type of being. And they're perpetual, insectilian queens are just breeders. They just breed. That's what they're meant to do. They infect and they breed. That's all they do. So, it's a different kind of species of I don't want to say aliens because some of them are inner earth, depending on where they're from. I'm not sure where these insectilians are from. They could be inner earth beings that are surface bound or hybrid on the surface. So I'm not quite sure, but I know they're insectilian. That I know. And I know that the queen and all of them are not necessarily all reptilians. A lot of them are insectilians. Oh, are the trolls on here? I didn't even see. Thank you, Sensei. Sensei already caught them up. I didn't see what they wrote. You know, the demons are out. Don't worry. Since the conference, we kind of talked about it. Since the conference and the rainbow, a lot of interesting beings have been, coming out of the windworks, and it's interesting how they came out. So I personally think it's a testament to how strong this energy field is coming in. And also, remember, we have the 30th. We have the 30th. What is it? The 31st that we're waiting for to see if the intel kind of pans through. I personally don't think it's going to be the 31st. I think it'll probably be the before or right after. So we'll see. We'll take a look at what's going on with that. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the rainbow, give gratitude to the rainbow. Yes, we talked about rest in peace, Mama Dia. We talked about that last night. I touched on it a little bit. I'm talking about the insectilians. Are you talking about the insectilians? Natural opposite reaction to increasing awareness. Yes. Nikki said, where we am I missing? Sometimes I see the feed, it goes so fast. What's being said? I don't even see what's being said anyway. Let's keep it light and fluffy tonight. Like my little ones would say. Let's keep it light and fluffy. Yeah, if someone's offensive, if someone's offensive, their comment will be removed. This is a conversation about ETs and rainbows. Some things should not be brought up. You know what I mean? It's if it's not part of the general consensus of the conversation. I'm not saying you can't talk about anything, but certain things. I'm seeing them play out today. Now, Sam, what are you seeing? Sam, you seeing things play out? Sometimes the feed goes fast, sometimes it goes slow. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. What else I was supposed to talk about? There was something else I was going to bring up about the rainbow. Something else the rainbow did. I can't remember. This is interesting. Oh, Mars. We've got 6 planets going in retrograde by the 26th, right? Rise above the wave. Listen, only earthlings are affected by retrogrades. If we rise above the rift, you will be unaffected by any retrogrades, because retrogrades is just an illusion, right? Sensei, and we were having conversation, Selma and Sensei. It's just an optical illusion. It appears to be going in reverse, but it's really not. And if your perspective is, are the planets really going in reverse, or are you actually going forward? Because if they're going in reverse, that means you're going forward. So it's your perspective. So if you see the retrograde as something different than what is being perpetuated, you will coast and ride the wave with your boogie board. So don't worry about that. Everything is relative, and really during retrogrades is a reflective time where you kind of go over your notes of what you've learned through the past few weeks and what can be applicable to your situation right now. So really don't take that as any other thing as perhaps just a moment to take a break and reflect. A rainbow is also a Dambala. I dreamed of the white snake last night. Did you, Larry Gator? Snakes are, it depends on snakes. Some people see snakes, and it's all relative, right? It's all relative. Snakes can be negative to one and be something luminous to another. So we have to be careful not to judge snakes, and because a lot of these beings are associated with certain animals. The owl or the deer sometimes can be grays, shape shifting into owls or deers. So some people have certain issues with owls and deers. Then you have the nega serpent, which is related to the carbon snake with glazed copper eyes. That's the nega serpent bloodline. Then you got the draconians, who look like straight up alligators or crocodiles. They look that way when they're not shapeshifted. That's why people have to be sedated whenever they come within even a hybrid's location. That's how different they look. I don't want to judge how these species show up, because every species shows up as it is. I think we're so limited on what we know and what we're allotted to really observe with a lot of these ET groups. Oh, why B.O.B. album called Negative? Why B.O.B.'s album is called Negative. We just talked about that, yeah. He knows what time it is. I wish the other being that said the word opposite the what it should be, nega, is the proper pronunciation. And you listen, if you want to call me nega all day, by all means, you may do so with respect and honor. That is a compliment. That is a testament of my genealogy. So if you want to say nega, 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 I accept it, and I think it's the most endearing term. But I think the most ignorant people who lack self-awareness, people who are limited in cognitive skills, will misinterpret the word nega and say it's something different. And I just take it as they're limited, mentally. And that's why they utilize the word in, negative ways. And they've made it negative, but the nega is beautiful. Fleur, the inner earth reptilian, do you have, hold on. Fleur, the inner earth reptilian, do they have soft reptilian features like smoother head, look like little lizards? For my knowledge, the inner earth reptilians, they're called I'm sorry, there's another name for them. I have the name because I was talking about them earlier. They are Usher has a head like them. Usher, LL Cool J, they have that head, that funny shaped cone heads. That's one of the qualities of some of the inner earth melanin dominant reptilian beings. They have that cone head like Usher, and that's why LL Cool J used to wear the hat all the time. That's why they try to straighten up the heads of certain babies. They come with that cone head. That is actually a quality of some of the reptilian beings that actually reside on the inner earth. Okay, so I know that's one of them. There's many different beings on the inner earth, and that's a whole nother conversation. I'm not even the one who's got the intel on the full amount of, again, just like in out as above, so below. There are beings living on the inner earth that we have no clue. Some of them are not sentient, not corporeal. Some of them are not corporeal. When I say non-corporeal, meaning they have no form. Some of them are just light beings. Okay, and when you see them, sometimes they kind of make your third eye pulsate. Those are light beings. They pulse. Like when you see them, they go like this, like that. It's really interesting. So, I mean, there are people who are much more well-versed in some of the beings. Now, unfortunately, for the ones who are really well-versed, that have intel on the inner earth beings, they will always negate anyone who's brown. Okay, so they'll give you a host of beings that look nothing like brown people. And we know there is more brown people on the inner earth than there is any other type of being. Even the reptilians are dark brown, darker brown. So the fact of the matter is, even when you get the intel about the inner earth beings, it will always be a missing component because they purposefully negate or just hide, or maybe they don't even acknowledge that there's other brown, dark beings that are in the inner earth. And actually, the majority of brown people on the surface of the earth that have been here previous to the last 2 cycles are kin to inner earth beings and the mer people. We talked about that last night. Mami Wata, Yamaya. Okay, the aquatic beings, the mer family, those are connected to a lot of the Africans, and they have kin. They're kin to one another. You know, they used to exchange tools, you know, with one another on the surface. They probably still do. There's pictures of them on the walls in parts of South Africa that were destroyed. So there is a connection to a lot of brown people from Africa, and that's why you have all these indoctrinated Christian churches bringing in exorcisms to exorcise the aquatic, or the what do they call it, the what do they call it? They don't call it the aquatic. They call it something else. They call it something else. I forgot what they call it. They call it something else. Yeah, they exercise them. Basically, they're telling them they cannot have interaction with their mer family. Marine, thank you, Saki knew. The Marine family, they don't want them interacting with their Marine family. They purposefully are telling them, they're saying they can't have dreams. What is wrong with having interaction with your mer family? And what is wrong if the Mer family allows for telepathic communication? Do you see the craziness with this? But they'll have you drink mock blood of Jesus Christ, you know, drink wine, which is supposed to be the blood of Christ, and they'll have you eat a wafer as if you're eating his flesh. You think that's healthy? But communicating with aquatic beings that are peaceful, that are beautiful and majestic, that are part of Mother Terra and do nothing but field and positive energy with the dolphins and the whales, you think that's negative, but you think eating mock blood, drinking mock blood and eating the flesh of Jesus Christ is appropriate? Listen to the rationale of that. That's where they're suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. Stop wearing crosses. Start sitting down, eating some good, healthy, alkaline food. Start meditating a little bit, and get some sunshine. And I guarantee, and maybe sit on a beach and go swimming, okay? Maybe, you know, witchcraft comes in so many forms. Witchcraft, there are so many, listen, the people doing most of the witchcraft are in your government. You know what's so funny? You hear all these right-wing people talking about witchcraft and occultists. The majority of people who are doing witchcraft and occult activity are your governmental agents. The majority of your governments are doing spells and doing all kinds of sigils on you daily. Why do you think you have cars that have certain symbols? Why do you think you have commercials who have subliminal messages that are pulsating in the back of your mind so you can buy and move in a way that they desire? That is witchcraft. So why did they demonize witches? It's so crazy that they'll demonize witches, but the majority of people doing all kinds of manipulative crafts are in your higher tiers. Your governmental systems. Talk about hypocrisy. Good grace. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's why I say, you know, if you hear somebody talk about witches, if you hear some of these religious sects be so demonically verbally abusive to other people and judgmental, best know that they're either infected with archons in their mind, they're capped genetically, meaning they're GMOs, you know, they were created genetically modified beings, you know, from conception, or they are basically just MK Ultra. So, you know, for many of the people that are very judgmental in those sects, I just take it as that is where they're supposed to be. I stay, you know, a good healthy distance. But when they come for me, you know, I mess with their peace of mind because I know too much. And they can't sit idly and sit there. And, you know, all I say to one Christian, especially if they're brown Christians, I say to you, how many Jewish people do you know that wear swastikas? That's all I ask them. When they come for me, that's what they avoid me. Most Christians who have issues, and I'm not saying Christians are terrible people, not at all. I'm talking about brown Christians because they're suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. That's my opinion. All brown people who are under Christianity are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. Why do I say that? For the same reason I'm telling you, why don't Jews wear swastikas? And you know what happens when I ask that question? They get scared. They get really scared because they know I'm about to say something that's going to rock their their subconscious mind, and they won't be able to recover from it. So usually they back away, okay, as they should. But if they go a little deeper, I'll say to you, how are you going to wear a symbol on your body that was utilized in the genocide and the rapes and pillaging and destroying of your general home base, places where your people came from? Okay, so if you know this, how do you wear a cross? They say nothing. Okay, so don't, you know, I respect your what you do, what you just stay in your lane, and I'll stay in mine. If you come for me, just know I have a lot of, I'm seasoned. I may look a little spry, but I'm seasoned. So I've been around the block a couple times, and I'm quite astute in my information and my intel. So, I just think if you're a brown person and you're still involved in the church, you need some psychiatric help. You really do, and you need some, guidance to not. I don't say you have to rebuke your religion that you've been indoctrinated with. I just say you have to realize where you're coming from and why that is a part of your daily repertoire of what your belief system is based on. If you're beat, if something's beat inside of someone, eventually they will accept it because they want to live. Okay, so if you've been beat and told, and this is the only way that you can exist is by taking on this belief system, you beat that into the 2 and 3 generations after you. So that's a form of Stockholm syndrome. People don't want to die, so what they'll do is eventually they'll take on the masses. And it doesn't have to be just brown people. It's anybody. It's everybody. Okay, it's a reason why women. It's a reason why women will stay in abusive relationships. Listen, I was with a Nazi. You already know my story. I don't sit here clean and clear. I am not sitting on my big rose petal, acting like I'm all good in the hood. I was with a Nazi for 17 years. You talk about MK Ultra. There was obviously, if I chose to be with someone, I was psychiatrically unwell. To be with someone who was destroying my personality, who utilized mind control system to purposefully get in my mind, I accepted that form of indoctrination, and that was my spiritual boot camp. Okay, so I'm not here to sit here and act like I'm all, I'm at a different point, obviously, but I'm just saying I've been there, done that, and I'm here to write the book and talk about it. So I don't sit here flying on a feather. You know what I'm saying? How was a black person with a Nazi? There's a lot of brown people with Nazis. There's a lot of people with Nazis, period. You don't even have to be brown. When I say Nazis, I'm being facetious. Come on now, use a little common sense. I'm being facetious when I say that. I don't mean an actual Nazi. He had a disposition of a Nazi, just very controlling and abusive, and I chose that person. So it wasn't his fault. I chose him. I have free will. So when I chose to be with someone like that, then that is a choice that I've made to be a part of. So I can't, someone could be all kinds of crazy, but it's your choice to be down with crazy, right? So it says something about my consciousness. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, dictator. He still is, but he can't dictate anymore. Now he listens. Because he realizes it's not worth the battle, because I'm a win. I'm a winner, and I'm a win every time, based on my consciousness, based on my ethical and my moralistic combination, based on my rearing. I come from a very not perfect people, but I come from very healthy people, healthy, very humble island people. So I have healthy ethics most of the time, not all, because I'll curse you out if you come for me in any way. That's real sidebar. ask Eric. I come for you if you're disrespectful. So I'm just saying, but I appreciate my healthy disposition based on how I was raised. I was raised by two of the most kind-hearted, wonderful people. And if you want to know anything about Fleur, ask where my name is. See, I don't have to hide. My name is Iduro Mon Plaisir. I have a very beautiful French name, and I kept my father's name. I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. Anybody you ask about me, they will tell you beautiful things about me and my family. See, I don't have to hide behind Fleur. My name is just an extension of who and what I already am. So at the end of the day, I am my parents, my mother and father's daughter, and I show up in that way. And my brother, who's my eldest brother, and we are not similar, and as far as like belief system, he's a Christian, like he's in that Christian thing. He wasn't like that as a young man, but he married someone, and he is a good-hearted person. He donates his time. He's not like me. It's a testament to our parents. I have a baby brother who's a botanist. He's it makes sense because I'm a tree person. We're very compassionate people with animals. He's very different, very compassionate, very loving. He's my baby brother. He's wonderful. It is a testament to my parents. So I always give first big ups to my mom and dad, who raised a really quirky little girl and two brothers who show up in the world beautifully and very different. And that's how I know that if you want to know who Fleur is, you can ask around the block, because you will always get the true story of who and what I am. That's why I can come out in the world. You can Google me. You'll see my story. It's nothing to hide. When you live out this way, for me to come so public on a platform like this and talk about being contacted by ETs and having a level of interaction daily with other beings, I have to be comfortable in my own skin, literally. So, you know, what's going on? Oh, my dog is not feeling well. Okay. So anyway, family, I'm out. I don't want to talk about Christians. Let me apologize, Christians. I'm sorry. If I apologize and offended you when I talked about Jesus Christ, the blood of Christ, and I talked about the wafers and the wine, I apologize. But I know that there is something going on with your level of consciousness. Why? Is because I personally know that if you are wearing a symbol that was used to harm and harness and genocidally destroy a lot of people who look like you are suffering from Stockholm syndrome. And I suggest that if you want to follow the Bible that was written by a whole bunch, especially if you're a woman, that was written by men who were I, I don't want to go there because there are things that I could say that would be offensive, and it's not needed. I respect you for what you worship and what you do, but just know that you will have a cap on your level of consciousness and you will be unable to move forward if you continuously follow an indoctrinated system of belief that is limiting where and what you should be going forward towards. That's just my personal thing. But, again, the Bible has beautiful things. So does the Quran. So does the Talmud and the Torah. So, it's all relative, So I'm sorry, Christians, if I was disrespectful. I apologize. No, I'm not being facetious when I say it. I apologize. Oh, Christian, they persecute everybody. But, the priests are having sex with little boys. A lot of priests have sex with little boys, not all. So what does that say? So if they're demonizing gay people, but they're having sex with little boys, what does that say about their general thought of things? You know what I mean? So I just think it's unnatural to refrain from sexual activity unless you're not well, you're having physical ailments. What happens? Some people don't have that yearning for sexual activity, and that's fine. But I think it's unnatural for males to not engage in sexual behavior. I think it shows up in perversions like craving little boys or craving obscene sexual things that are unnatural because you're doing something physically unnatural. Okay, I'm not saying you should go have sex with everything, but I think your that chastity, that covenant with Jesus Christ could be hindering your level of humanness. That's all. I heard they raided Mother Teresa. What? What'd they do, Jose? They raided Mother Teresa? What'd they do to her? Why don't they leave Mother Teresa alone? All she does is touch people and heal people. Leave her alone. If Gandhi wants to walk around, Mother Teresa wanted to go around healing, touching people and healing them and hugging them, I'm okay with that. I think a lot of people need hugs. There's days when I need hugs. Like today I needed a hug. There's days when you need a hug. I think there's nothing wrong with that. You know how many times people walk around and they're sad or they want to cry at any moment. What's wrong with sitting down at a perfect stranger who's loving, who's eluding love and frequency and healing? I would love a hug like that. So I think it's beautiful. I think sometimes, for them to try to destroy that woman who's just there chilling, hugging people and loving people, I think there's so much worse. Teresa was what? Mother Teresa was trafficking kids to the elite. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You see, like Medea would say, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. She was trafficking. Now, maybe those hugs were a little different. See, I didn't know about that. Maybe those hugs were diabolical. Mother Teresa, did you really do that? Yeah, this matrix is real tricky, boy. It is slippery up in this piece. You mess with the babies, you got karma coming. Don't come. Let me explain something, family. One thing you will know about me, and if you don't know it now, you will be reminded. If you come for children and you are near or near to me in striking distance, remember, I could leave the country at any time. Just know if you are a violator of children, listen to me. I could leave the country at any time, and I have places to go, and I will stay there for the 7 to 8 years that is necessary. Do you understand? I didn't say anything. I just said I could leave the country. if you are a violator of children and women in my perimeters, that's all I'll say. You heard that telepathic message. Okay? The problem is you have a lot of punks out here, and I'm gonna say it. I know it sounds rude. I know many people are gonna be upset at me. Oh, Flurburn, she's saying wild things. Yo, she's always talking smack. No, I don't talk smack. I'm about that life. Ask anybody in Mount Vernon. Listen, if you come for children, animals, and women and men, especially if some of you men are diabolical, listen to the telepathic message I have for you. I have a song. It's a Caribbean song, and I don't want to say it. I don't know how some of these diabolical perverts and these men who rape children get away with it, because in jail they'll take you down. They'll take out a child molester. You got criminals in jail that will do what some of you need to do on the outside. See, that's why I don't really rock with some of these fake divine people, because they talk a lot of smack, and a lot of them sat around while Boombata from hip hop Zulu Nation was molesting boys and raping them. So I really don't have respect for some of you males who sit here and know that men are messing with little girls, knowing these underage little girls and little boys, and you see it and you just walk by idly. And back in the days, well, I rock with warriors. People disappear for less. Okay? So it's not a threat. It's what happens. When you do diabolical things and you're still breathing, and some of you claim to be warriors and divine, I don't see how divine you are by letting some of these men get away with some of these acts, walking around. When the fact that Zimmerman is walking around is a testament that we have some weak people out here. Okay? He's walking around breathing. And it was a young man who had paper stuffed in his body on the street. Okay, so I don't want to hear about anybody saying they're warriors. If you the type of person who said, listen, I'm not hell-bent on staying in the United States if something goes down like that. I'm just saying, you violate me and mine, or any child around me. I don't care if the child is lunar, white, black, green, in between. If you harm a child and I hear about it and I know you did, there is a consequence to you karmically. And it might show up as Flurburn. Some of you need to pony up and stop sitting idly and acting like it's all gravy. Because I've seen, like I said, when Babata was part of the Zulu Nation, who sat there and was raping and molesting young boys for years. Listen to me, family, for years. And there was a massive amount of people who knew he was doing it. How many of those homies that you listen to on the radio, sometimes DJing, how many of them went to the aid of those young boys? How many of them just walked by, knew what was happening, but they didn't want their bread to be broken? They didn't want to not get any cheese. They didn't want to get anything. So please don't talk about these warriors out here, because I see a lot of weak men out here. Don't talk about these women are too strong when you have women doing more protection for their offspring than some of these brothers out here. I see some brothers that are, listen, big up to the homies that I rock with, okay? A lot of them from the South Bronx. South Bronx, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Harlem, North Carolina, Virginia. I know some warriors. You do some dirt with these homies, your obituary will tell the story. That's all I have to say. I'm not saying this, I'm just saying this all to say I'm exhausted hearing the BS from people talk about, I'm all this, I'm a warrior and so on. You're not a warrior. I just saw some girl get raped in your neighborhood and you didn't say bleep. I just saw this man cursing out his wife, his pregnant wife in the street with the child in front of him, and you didn't say anything. So you're not a warrior, sir. You're just a warrior online on YouTube, and you're just not about that life. You like to pretend like you're about that life, but lady shot dude in the face after he carjacked her car with the 2 kids. Listen, right, Jose? Listen, family. The divine is online. We have home court advantage. You men better pony up. If you're not rocking with us, don't stand in our way, because you're going to have problems. The only men that are going to do well in this new home court advantage are the ones who rock and healthy in a healthy stance with the divine. The ones who are helpful, who are good fathers, who are good pillars in their neighborhood, the ones who pick up garbage, the ones who are good fathers to their own children and other people's offspring, the ones who show up dedicating their time to the youth. Those are the men who will do fine in this next paradigm. Not the ones who are buying Jordans for $200 waiting online but won't pay their child support or won't give their baby's mother $10 to buy the children new shoes or buy the shoes for their children. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I know some women right now, thank you, Amara. I know some women right now that you don't want to mess with. Yes, rapists reincarnate sometimes as children that are raped. Absolutely. And that's what we talked about in the show last night. What you do, there's dirt. When you do dirt, you get dirt. That's an old a city term. When you do dirt, you get dirt. If you don't get your karma now, see, some of you got away with raping little girls when you were young, or some of you got away with robbing people or selling drugs. You think you got away with it, but karma does not have a time. There's no clock. There's no clock. So when you pass away all comfortable in your bed in your Timberlands, best believe you might come back as somebody who's heinously clocked over their head and robbed for their stuff and paralyzed for the rest of their life. You may come back as a child who's hurt harmfully because you were the bastard who was raping them in the past life. Now you got to engage in the same activity that you placed on them karmically. So I'm just saying everything's 360 degrees. You see what my shirt says, right? Can't stop, won't stop. That's why I say to you, if I say it, if I talk about it, I'm going to be about it. I've learned that. See, the difference is a lot of people think I'm a child. Some people think they come on my cipher. A lot of people think they come and it's all cool, Flurbur's all cool and everything until they disrespect someone. See, this is where they learn real quick. I'm cool. I'm really laid back. I really don't really have problems with the majority of people. I'm not judgmental like that. It's not my personality. But when you do dirt to somebody, a lot of times some people, 90% of the people removed from Cypher, let me say 99% of the people removed from Cypher are disrespectful bastards. They're disrespectful. They're mean-spirited. They abuse other people and they don't care. That's all. Not all. I said 99. There's like 1% that get deleted because they're just not in the frequency of what I want on my page. But other than that, most of them are disrespectful. And I said, I'm love on one side and I'm war on the other. I represent peace and war on one coin. It just depends on what angle you come for me. So if you come rage and war against people I love and respect, best believe you're going to be met with mass destruction. But if you come with me with peace and respect, I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're a transsexual. I don't care if you're a lunar. I don't care if you're blue. I don't care if you're Jamaican. I don't care if you're Caribbean. I don't care if you're from North Carolina. I don't care if you're from the West Coast. I don't care if you're a blood. I don't care if you're a Crip. If you are respectful and you're honorable and you treat people well and you come in that frequency of love and respect, I'm going to treat you as such. I'm an equal opportunist. This is the one thing, and I'm grateful to my parents for raising me like this. They raised me to respect people for how they show up in the world. That's it. I could care less who you sleep with. I could care less what complexion you are. I could care less what you do. I care about what you do to help the planet. I care about how you treat other people. I care about how you treat animals or how you respect animals. I care about those things. I care about how you engage in the world that allows for another human being to feel safe. That's what I care about. Other than that, I'm cool. So, if you ever hear anybody say anything other than me, that's untrue. I don't sit, remember when Dorothy landed? Remember when Dorothy came to Oz and she landed the house land and said, and what was it? Glinda the Good Witch said to her, "Are you a good witch or a bad witch?" This is my answer. I'm not a witch at all. Bruja. Yeah. The question of the day is, many people ask if I'm a witch. If I'm a witch, what would be the big deal, number one? And if I was, as much as I talk too much, you would know all kinds of things that I do, witchery. Yeah. you know, the judgment is crazy because the majority of people who accuse you of things are the ones who are doing the same things they're accusing you of. That's why they see certain things on you, because it reminds them of aspects of themselves. The people who call me a witch are the people doing all kind, who open up websites, groups calling themselves the witches. You like the shirt? This is a shirt for the conference, everyone. So if you want the conference shirt, listen, if you want the conference shirt, you go to 13flurburn13@gmail.com. I'm going to deliver the last deliveries tomorrow of the ones I already got, but I have to leave the t-shirts for those coming to the conference. So this one, and we have the sunglasses one with the aliens and the sunglasses. I love that one too. I'll wear that on another video. So this is the t-shirt. And again, big up to Vanjie and David, who were the creators of this t-shirt. And I'm really appreciative to the artwork that they did. I'll definitely, listen, with this conference, everybody's requesting for me to go on tour. I will probably go on tour. I'll bring, I'll bring Fleur Brune and all the contactees. So what I'll do is, after this finishes, I will make plans to start to incorporate going world, countrywide. Let's do citywide, and I'll come to different places, and we'll do smaller conferences. We won't do big ones. We'll do little gatherings, to bring out awareness on contactees. I want contactees to have a support system, and especially melanin dominant ones who are not allowed on any of these platforms with all these, Corey Goods and David Wilcox. They're not welcomed at a lot of these places, and sometimes they can't afford it. So I'm going to have little conferences, stimulated with other contactees, and we'll start to do this. So I'm going to try to, I said I'm going to do it, but remember, I have a sanctuary that I have to build as well. So I have a lot on my plate, but if I talk about it, you best be known I'm going to be about it. Okay, so I will do that. And let's just make it to this wonderful conference. And again, I definitely want to do London. London's a big community of, especially a lot of galactic contactees, melanin dominant ones in London. So I definitely want to do London. The Netherlands, right, Nora? The Netherlands, it's like they were the first people. A lot of times I was on the radio show in the Netherlands. A huge community up in the Netherlands, in Holland, in Denmark, and also in Amsterdam. So we will touch base there. So I want to hit DC, and I want to go to the brown states. I'm going to go to DC, and I'm going to go to Detroit. I told you I have an affinity for Detroit. People don't realize, I really appreciate contactees who, really show up, and they're showing up in places at Detroit. And a lot of times people would say, why would you go to Detroit? Because it's brown people? Yes, because that's who I represent for. I represent for everyone, but I love to see people who look like me expressing themselves and having the courage to speak about their experiences and not feeling like they don't have a platform to do so. So if they don't have it, then I'm going to create it for them. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And I now want to make sure that the little people, their voices, because they're having a level of contact with different beings, I want to create a support system for them. So there's a lot that needs to be done. Y'all remember that interracial couple was abducted in the 60s? The woman cussed straight. What happened? You talk about Barney? You talking about the Barney story? Believe straight anyway. And no one believed the woman because she was a black, but the man was believed straight away. Well, yes, there's a level. I think we've discussed this, and I love, what I'm grateful for? This is what I'm grateful for. When I first came out on YouTube talking about my distaste for Carrie Cassidy for purposefully hiding and ignoring intel that was related to melanin dominant ETs and intel to those. I think when I made that video, I made a decision from that point on that I would not only stand firm in talking and speaking about my own experiences, but I would find others like myself. And I had no clue to the massive amount of people of color, otherwise too, but women as well, more women, that were having contact with beings, interdimensionals, interterrestrials, all types. And they were having levels of contacts on a regular basis that did not have any rhyme or reason to make it up. They didn't have any money coming to them. They were having it, and they didn't have outlets. I made sure that I was going to create a way that we would find each other, and we did. And ever since then, if you notice, if you don't know, now you know. I've got all these corny raps, old school rap sayings. If you don't know, you know. Look now at how many people are coming out about their contact. Look at them. It's beautiful. They no longer feel like they're like melanin dominant people. Everyone is invited. Everyone. My lunar family is coming. My family from Europe is coming. My family from Africa is coming. My Caribbean family is coming. My Latina family is coming. My Nordic family is coming. Everyone is coming to this conference and they're all welcomed. I am being the change I want to see in the world. I don't have to just talk about it. I want to be about it. I'm okay with everyone showing up as they are. So I know that this is the moment that we have in our time when this is being allotted. So we should take advantage of it. Anyway, family, I'm out. Look at the t-shirt. This is our t-shirts for the conference. Flurburn Experiencer Conference 2018, the first, and hopefully many after. If again you want to go to the conference, you still have enough time. It's just 1 week away, and by Saturday it'll be 1 week away, and it will be the 14th in Orlando, beautiful Orlando, Florida. We're gonna have activities, we're gonna have a good time, and of course we'll have music. Okay, so and thank you. I wanted to say thank you for everyone who's been a super supporter. I'm grateful for everyone who's decided to come and join me for the conference. I really appreciate you. Listen, I appreciate you taking a chance on Flurburn and coming out and supporting this in itself, the platform and the family. I really appreciate you for doing so. Again, I never expected this type of connection to so many different complexions, different backgrounds, different tongues, different religions, everyone that are having the receptivity to the conversations about things that normally we would never, ever publicly be able to discuss. And I'm grateful that you've joined me, and I'm grateful that you support me, and I'm grateful that many of you are coming. Okay, so let's keep doing it. Don't be shy about it. You be about it. And don't worry about what people think about you, because they think it's not what they think about you, it's how you show up in the world. So as much as people can say, they can't really change what you do. You do your best, and that's all that matters. Okay, so can't stop, won't stop. I know I'm a busty Babs. I shouldn't even show. My mate doesn't like when I do that. I love the t-shirts. Thank you, David and Vanjie, for some wonderful shirts. And again, I'll be joining many of you. Thanks to 50 Shades of the Rainbow. Let me go and be productive as I'm talking to you, Famil. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves. Show up positively in the world. Give someone a real hug. I didn't know Mother Teresa is actually a smuggler of children. We're going to have to adjust to that. Many of you I'll see next week at the conference. All right, family. Peace.